Peace world. People call me Eric, and I wanted to start the new year off right, so I decided to launch a program called Make America Green Again. And the basic idea is that whether you agree with Trump's political positions or disagree with them, I think we can all see that America is in need of some greatness, and we're kind of slacking in that department and have been for a long time. And I'd really like to see us step it up, and I think the best way for us to make America great again is for us to make America green again. And I think that the best place for us to start is right at home. Always starting with ourselves and sharing that love and inspiration with the rest of the world. So the idea that I have in mind is basically that we take the 27 million acres of American lawn. That means lawn that is in front of your house and your neighbor's house and your friend's house and your mom's house and your family's houses. They're all covered with grass, which is an invasive species, and it's basically a monocrop, which means that there's only one species of plant growing all over these American lawns. So I want to change that. I want to see us all pick up our shovels and dig into the dirt and start planting fruit trees and nut trees and perennial vegetables and annual vegetables and growing lots and lots of food for ourselves, because whether you're aware of it or not, the food industry is one of the most destructive industries on the planet. It's responsible for incredible amounts of topsoil being lost. It's responsible for all of the phosphate mining that's going on all over the world, which is poisoning water left and right. Down here in Florida, they just had a sinkhole happen at one of these phosphate mine sites, and it released 250,000 gallons, or maybe even more than that, of radioactive slurry into the watershed. It's really pretty sad. So if you're in Sarasota, you might want to get your water checked. At any rate, enough with all the doom and gloom, and let's talk about the solution. So we've got 27 million acres of lawn, and we can take that lawn space and start cultivating food, and with some skill and with some practice we can feed about 10 people per acre, according to Martin Crawford, who's been forest gardening for over 40 years now. So the idea is that we start by planting fruit and nut trees and things like that, and we can feed 270 million people over some time, and we can create local jobs that stay within a local economy. I would say 2 jobs per acre at least, just for the maintenance and installation. So that's 54 million jobs that we can create. And then on top of that, there's jobs for people who want to deliver the excess, the excess harvest to other people who didn't harvest as much. There's jobs for people processing the food. There's a lot of potential for us to grow both economy and ecology with these kinds of approaches. So I'm here at Mosswood Farm Store in beautiful Micanopy, Florida, and I wanted to just take a minute to give you guys an idea of what's possible and what can happen if we just start putting our shovels in the ground and planting out some plants. So this is what most American lawns look like. Actually, this is actually looking a lot better than most American lawns, because it's got all kinds of weeds like the Bidens pilosa. That's Spanish needles. Very, very excellent nutrient dense plant that most people would not tolerate growing in their grass. Yeah, here's the Bidens right here. Beautiful, beautiful plant. Very nutritious, very antimicrobial. Listed in Stephen Herod Buhner's Herbal Antibiotics book as one of the most potent antimicrobials for antibiotic-resistant strains of bacteria. So now let's start taking a look at what they've done here at Mosswood Farms. We've got a peach tree right here. We've got blueberries right here. Let's take a look. Let's see some of the awesome things that they've done here at Mosswood Farm Store. Just kind of playing around in the garden in their spare time, and they've put in a lot of work out here, and it's really paying off. This is a beautiful trellis with some amazing African, it's not actually a squash family member. I forget what it is. Maybe we'll get to see Joe here in a second. and he can tell us more about that. We've got the mighty chayote. This is a true cucurbit, one of my favorites. The leaves are edible, the fruits are edible, the roots are edible. In some places they're prized for the shoots, in other places they're prized for the roots. Here's a winged yam. These things are incredibly productive. Sometimes one root can be over 100 pounds. From one root, one plant can provide 100 pounds of nutrient-dense, calorie-dense foods. We've got a bunch of bananas here. This is some variety of ginger or maybe cardamom. We've got pineapple sage down here. You know, there's this beautiful little trail moving along. They've got a little improvised nursery over here to the side. You can see some of the bananas are producing. Aww. It's January in Florida. I guess we better pick some ripe bananas. So this is going on here in Gainesville. If you come over here, there's a cute little trellis going around the outdoor shower. So in the summertime, this is completely concealed by all of these vines everywhere. This is kind of passion fruit right here. So they've got passion fruit climbing on the trellis. They got these beautiful log steps, you know, just cordwood steps, kind of cut, little rounds in the ground.
Another banana tree. It's like covered with the banana, surrounded by the banana trees.
Surrounded by bananas, abundance. So
while you're taking a shower, you can just pick off a fruit and eat it, or...
Here's a little baby papaya.
Aww.
Coming up. Papayas are amazing. Look, here's another one right here. So you see that this is kind of something a little bit different than what you would expect to see in most yards. But how beautiful is it? You know, how beautiful is this? There's comfrey growing right here, so we don't need to import fertilizers. We don't need to buy, mined phosphate around here, because we've got plants like comfrey that is an amazing dynamic accumulator that will pull up phosphorus from the soil, and then we just spread it down there, you know, and that phosphorus will go back into the plants. We call it chop and drop in the permaculture scene. So all of this kind of falls into the broader category of what you might call permaculture or permanent agriculture. And we'll talk more about that in future videos. Over here we have some beautiful elderberries in flower, and they're starting to produce berries. Hopefully they won't get frostbitten, and then in a month we can go ahead and harvest a bunch of elderberries. Look how cute! Look how cute these little flowers are. Beautiful, amazing plant. This plant is amazing. It grows from all the way down in South Florida, all the way north to Maine. How tough of a plant is that? Come on now. You are what you eat. So if you eat elderberries, you'll be a tough human being. If you eat tough plants, you'll become a tough human. So this one here is moringa, one of the most nutrient-dense foods in the world, you know, and that's another thing with all of this. The other day we were hanging out with Andy Firk down at Bamboo Grove, and we had a dinner that was like mullet, wild-caught mullet, Seminole pumpkin, Biden's pelosa, the Spanish needles, and it was really simple and straightforward and super delicious, and one of the most nutrient-dense meals that you could possibly get. So this is beyond like just saving money and economics of things. This is about developing a real relationship with our food, yeah, and giving our bodies what they actually need.
And it fills you up actually a lot quicker than a giant meal would be, you know, like you just eat smaller when you eat healthy.
Yeah, because it's so nutrient dense, and so that's one of the things that I think a lot of people are missing in their lives is nutrient density. And this one leaf right here is like a multivitamin. This is like a day's worth of vitamins. This is one little leaf. Actually, I can't say that for sure. I'm not a scientist, but I want to see us make America green again. So if you're into getting on board with that program, like this channel, subscribe, like this video, subscribe to this channel, encourage me to make more videos, and keep on being the love. Grow some food. It's the future. Peace, family.